What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Too Easy. I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about not Dame versus Giannis, Dame and Giannis versus the Lakers. It was the Bucks versus Lakers in the preseason game today. And I just want to give my takeaways, man, because I was super excited. I finally got to see them play. You know, there's been a lot of hype with them playing this year, all the craziness. Nobody thought Dame was even going to come to the Bucks. Everybody thought they were going to Miami, and then that took a turn, and then he ends up on the Bucks, and people are all wondering, like, what's it going to look like, right? Like, how is Dame and Giannis going to coexist? Dame is one of the best pick and roll players in the league, and obviously Giannis, with all the gravity he brings in, he would probably be the best pick and roll guy to complement with. So we really wanted to see it, and I think they didn't disappoint. And so I just wanted to give my biggest takeaways as to what happened, and go from there. And so one of the first things I noticed when watching the game, Giannis is going to be given a lot of space to operate. Like immediately when the game started, the Lakers already blitzed Dame, and they immediately wanted to get the ball out of his hands. And like, to him, it's like, it got to be like a blessing to be like, fam, I'm giving up the ball. Before, I was giving it to Anthony Simons or Jeremy Grant. Now I'm giving it to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's going to get space to operate. And so that happened multiple times in the game. And obviously Giannis was just cleaning up, because if you're now like backpedaling because you committed to Dame, now you're already in retreat mode because Giannis is already coming at the paint and attacking very hard. And if that's the case, if you close out, now he's kicking it to Jay Crowder, kicking it to Malik Beasley, kicking it to Pat Connaughton, or whoever is open at that time. And then when Chris comes back, he's going to be kicking over to them. So that's the main thing. Just saw immediately, whether they had chemistry or not, Giannis is going to be given a lot of space to operate, and vice versa too. Because of Giannis going downhill and putting pressure on the rim, Dame's going to be given a lot of space to operate too, and Chris as well too. So that's always going to be there. So whatever else happens and they need to clean up in the offense, they're always going to be given that opportunity at least. And so that was great to see. Another takeaway was Giannis. Even though it's a preseason game, he was very much locked in defensively. He had 2 blocks early. He was taking a challenge. Anybody who was going there, you saw he was reaching a lot. He was getting aggressive because, and just like he talked about in his interview, saying that like they can't call all fouls, so it's better to be overly aggressive and be able to bully your way into overcoming their offense on the opposing team. And so he definitely did that. And so it's definitely a change from kind of the passive aggressive Coach Budenholzer defense, where it's like, okay, Giannis, we just want you roaming and playing help side, but we don't necessarily want you to guard the best players and put pressure on the wings and things of that nature. And he was definitely doing that this time around in the preseason. So you can already see Adrian Griffin's philosophy in effect, because there was times where Giannis was guarding AD. There were times where Giannis was guarding guards. Like if there was a pick and roll happen, he was hedging. He was coming up and taking the challenge and making wing players or guards give up the ball. So he was doing a whole lot different things. It's still along some of the same lines, but he just didn't do it as much last year. This year, he's doing it a whole lot more. And I know once the season starts, he's going to be doing it like at a way higher level as well. And so that was great to see as well. And Jay Crowder actually did a great job on AD at times too. Like the times where Giannis wasn't guarding him, like Jay Crowder was guarding him, and he made AD a little uncomfortable. Like AD is still amazing. He still had like 16 points in the first half, and he was still doing his thing. But the times that Jay Crowder was guarding him, the times he did miss, like Jay Crowder had a lot to do with that. So that was a pleasant sign to see. I'm not anticipating that Jay Crowder is going to be assigned to guard AD. I think that would be stupid, but guarding maybe Jason Tatum, guarding maybe Jimmy Butler, guarding maybe Jaylen Brown. Like, I'm much more confident now having Jay Crowder in there than how I saw him last year. So it looks like he's definitely been working on his conditioning, sliding his feet, and getting stronger as far as in the post as well too. So that was great to see. That's some of the positive things, right? Like, there was a lot of good stuff that happened. Like, obviously they won the game, so there were great things to go off of, but there are some things I did notice. There may be nitpicks, but hey, these are my takeaways. And so the Bucks need to do a better job of getting Dame in his spots and making things easier for Dame. Like obviously they've had many years with Giannis, and Giannis is going to get his regardless of what's going on. But there were times that when Giannis wasn't in the game, like the Bucks players were just doing whatever the fuck they wanted, and that's not gonna work. Like, we know what the bread and butter is, and that's everything going through Dame and Giannis and the pick and roll. And even when Giannis is out, you should still operate the pick and roll with either Bobby Portis, with either Brook Lopez, because these guys are still threats and they can still score. So they should be doing that versus like they shouldn't just have Malik Beasley do stuff and then Dame just sit in the corner and watch things unfold. Like, they should still have Dame involved and still have him used as a threat as long as he's out there. And they should do the same thing for Giannis. It shouldn't just be, granted, it's preseason. Some people are trying to make the roster. I get it. People are trying to showcase things. I get it. But at the same time, like, you still want to prepare yourself for the regular season and the reality. And the reality is everything's going to be going through Dame and Giannis. So the team needs to already get accustomed to making things easier for both of those guys. And Chris, when Chris Middleton comes back in as well too. So I didn't really see that this game. Granted, it's the first game, so there's going to be rust. They haven't played with Dame or Giannis this entire time. So I'm not too concerned about it, but it was something I did notice. Bobby Portis, I don't know, man. Like, I like Bobby Portis, heart and soul. The fans love him. He's beloved, fan favorite, all that. Bobby Portis is terrible defensively. He is awful defensively. Like, he is a turnstile. And that was part of the reason why, like, the Heat killed us so much, is just because, like, they were getting like open lanes to the rim and they were just laying it up. And a lot of times that was on Bobby Portis. Like, Bobby Portis is just not a great rim protector. He's not even great at taking a charge. He's not great at staying in front of people. Like, he's just, other than his offense that he gives up, he is just terrible defensively. So if you're going to keep him out there, which I still feel like in the playoffs, it's the same thing's going to happen, that he just might not play that much unless he's giving a spark offensively. But yeah, if you're gonna keep him out there defensively, like, you're gonna have to need somebody to help supplement that. Whether it's putting Giannis out there to help protect the rim and drop coverage or something like that, or having Brook Lopez. It can't be Bobby Portis anchoring the defense, because if that's the case, the opposing team is going to go on a run. They're going to get layups. They're going to get threes. And the next thing you know, you're bringing Dame, you're bringing Giannis, you're bringing Chris, you're bringing everybody back in the game because Bobby Portis and company like mucked it up. So that's definitely something that obviously is still going on and is still going to be an issue for the Bucks. Malik Beasley, he was great. He didn't make all his shots as he usually does. He's actually been shooting pretty well in preseason. But this game he didn't shoot that well. But I still like how much he competes defensively. So I'm still positive about that. I know a lot of Bucks fans were spooked by Adrian Griffin's comment saying that Malik Beasley is going to be guarding the top guards and things of that nature. I mean, it gave me cause to pause too, to be honest with you. But I at least saw that, he is putting an effort and he's not getting cooked out there. And I still don't think they're going to make him guard Jaylen Brown, make him guard Jason Tatum, make him guard Jimmy Butler. Maybe at times, but they're definitely not going to do that. Like, Adrian Griffin is a very smart defensive coach. And so if he sees something's not working, he's going to make adjustments and he's going to switch things. He's not like Budenholzer where they live and die by the strategy. Like, Adrian Griffin will throw out the playbook and throw out the strategy if it's not working, especially if they're losing. So I'm not worried about that. And it is pleasant to see that Malik Beasley does compete on that end. And he's not as much as somebody who gets cooked like a Grayson Allen, like a George Hill, who when they were out there. And so I'm not as worried about that. And he just is way more dynamic offensively. Like, he can create his shot. He can hit an open three. Like, he's been much more impressive. So I'm willing to let the other shit slide because of what he brings on the other end. MarJon was great. I know a lot of people were down on MarJon last game, saying that he can't be a starter. Maybe he can't, but I still think there's value in him, and he's definitely shows signs of greatness. Like, he was hitting a step back or pull up three. He was doing a lot of good things out there. He hit a mid range. Like, I'm still in on MarJon. I'm still on MarJon Island, so I think he's still going to be great. people just got to have some patience with him. Like, he's gonna develop these things. He's in year 2. Give him a chance to figure things out, and he's gonna get better as the year goes on. Another negative, Robin Lopez was terrible. I don't know. Obviously, we brought him in for morale because it definitely was not for basketball reasons. Robin Lopez looks lost out there. He looks like a doofus anytime he gets to basketball or anytime he's asked to do anything. He looks like a doofus. And it's saying a lot because Brooke Lopez at times acts like a doofus, but man, Robin Lopez is like, he's like Bizarro Bizarro Superman compared to Superman. Like, that's how the Brooke Lopez, Robin, like whatever you doofus things Brooke Lopez does, like Robin Lopez is like that on steroids. And so I'm not anticipating Robin Lopez playing a lot. I'm thinking he's going to be doing a lot of clapping and cheering on the bench. But yeah, these preseason games have been very head scratching. Like, I don't understand like what he's doing out there. Like, sometimes it's like, are you deliberately trying to sabotage this game, or I don't know. But he's been bad. Sidebar, Anthony Davis looked great. Like, he looked really good. The jumpers were knocking down. He was scoring everywhere on the court. Obviously, he still looks like one of the best defenders in basketball, if not the best defender. And so he looks great. I'm actually, the Lakers are going to be really good, I think, especially, obviously, always same shit that we say every year. If AD's healthy, like, they're going to look really good. So I was optimistic on that. And even D'Lo looked pretty good, too. Like, he was competing defensively as well. So he definitely looked different as well. But yeah, man, all in all, I think this game, while small sample size, it was only like first half for Giannis and whatnot, and a little bit of Dame. But this was a good snapshot, man. Like, I think they did a great job. I think you definitely see the pieces there, right? Like, you see the foundation is there, and you see that there is potential for them to be unstoppable offensively. They just gotta iron out some of the kinks, like. Tell the teammates, to not do so much boneheaded, knuckleheaded shit. And I think, like, this team's going to be dangerous offensively. But the foundation is definitely there. They just got to iron it out. And Dame and Giannis, I'm confident. Like, they have similar mindset. They both want each other to succeed. They both want to win a championship. So they're going to do whatever it takes to like make things work out. So I'm not even worried about that. I feel like by game 1, they're going to be clicking, and even if they're not, they're still going to be winning games just because that pick and roll, that dynamic when they're double teaming either one of them is completely OP. So they're going to be fine. I'm not worried about that at all. And lastly, Giannis is going to average like the most efficient 30, especially if things are looking like how it looked tonight. He's going to be averaging the most efficient 30 points per game in NBA history, because if he's going to get to go one-on-one majority of the time, because they're going to be trying to double team Dame, or even vice versa, like Dame's going to have way more efficient numbers too, because he's going to be getting open looks versus what he was experiencing in Portland. And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm all on the MVP Giannis agenda. And I feel like it's going to happen. And so, y'all let me know what you think. How'd you feel about the game? How do you feel about the Bucks moving forward? Please like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment. I love engaging with fans. I love engaging with people just talking basketball. That's really the reason why I do this, not necessarily just to get views. I just like talking basketball, man. So if y'all like this video, watch my other ones, and I'm going to try to be more consistent on a weekly basis with this content. So my name's Too Easy. Thank you next time. Thank you next time. See you next time.